can understand spoken English, but I can't speak. Have you ever said it to yourself? I have. But there are some things you can do to improve your English speaking skills so that you will not just understand it but can speak it as well. There are some problems that English learners have that prevent them from speaking fluently. Problem 1. You have limited vocabulary. Problem 2. You know the word but you're not sure how to use it in the conversation. Problem 3. You're afraid of grammar mistakes, and today I'd like to talk to you about how these problems can be solved. Before we get started, please click the like button. I really appreciate it, and subscribe to English Lessons with Kate if you haven't already. Every week I publish a new video to help you learn English, so please make sure to click the bell below this video. Now let's start with discussing the first problem. You have limited vocabulary. What do you need to do to solve it? When I was learning English, I never learned single words. I learned the whole phrases. Learn vocabulary in context. Find as many examples of using that phrase as you can. For example, you're learning the word hilarious in English. Check what it means and then look up some examples with this word. Every dictionary has a bunch of examples, and that's great. You can look them up and write them down. And you can see the same word in different combinations and different phrases. When you learn new words, create your own sentences straight away. You can send a message to your friend using new words, but make up a new sentence with this word, so you're not only learning, but you're practicing and you're able to use English words. Another effective way to improve your speaking skills is by asking yourself questions. You ask yourself and then you try to find the answer. At first, it would be difficult to come up with the right words, but your brain gets used to searching information in your mind. The thing that I used when I was learning English was talking to myself and asking myself different questions. I realized that I spent hours watching videos in English. I was listening to many different speakers, and I could understand pretty well, but when it came to speaking, it felt like I don't know what to say.
Words and my vocabulary is pretty limited. But the problem was I had noon to practice my English with, so the thing that I used was asking myself questions. After watching a video lesson on YouTube, I retold everything with my own words, and then I asked myself questions. Maybe I looked strange, because literally I was talking to myself. This tip helped me a lot, because I learned how to memorize words and use them in the sentences. Problem 2. You know the word, but you're not sure how to use it in the conversation. You can also use all the tips I've just told you about, and another important tip is use monolingual dictionary where all the definitions are in English, not in your native language. Without checking the translation, you will be able to understand English words, and that will help you to feel comfortable when using them in natural conversation. Learn stock phrases. Those are well-known, overused phrases. For example, a stock phrase, "Could you tell me about it? Could you tell me about it?" That's something you can say in many situations, and you will feel more confident about your speaking. Learn phrases that help you to start a conversation. To express agreement and disagreement, learn commonly used questions. That's crucial for improving your speaking skills. You can also watch my video How to Improve Your English. Here's the link to this video. Problem 3. You're afraid of grammar mistakes when the baby is born. He's learning a language. By listening and understanding first, and then after a year or more, he starts speaking. He doesn't read the grammar rules, but he can speak without grammar mistakes. Why? Because he learns and adopts different speech patterns. Do not learn grammar rules, learn grammar patterns. Grammar patterns are the ways to describe how words are used in English. For example, the verb arrive is almost always used with the preposition at, but we can confuse it and change with the preposition to or on. I arrived in the airport yesterday. That's incorrect. I arrived at the airport yesterday. Right, he arrived on the meeting. That's incorrect. He arrived at the meeting. That's right. When we speak about the country or city, we say arrive in. When we are talking about the places like airports, hotels, railway stations, and home, we say arrive at. If you learn the patterns, it will be easier to use them. You can go to grammarpatterns.com, where you can find so many different patterns explained. Without speaking practice, it's impossible to speak. So practice and repeat out loud all new phrases and grammar patterns as well.
In English grammar, it was so hard to understand conditionals. I spent hours reading grammar rules and writing tests, but it was still confusing because we don't have the same rules in my native language. When I started to repeat the patterns, I mastered the conditional sentences, and I don't need to think what verb forms to choose. It goes with the flow. If I won $1 million, I would buy a jet. If I won $1 million, I would buy a jet. If I won $1 million, I would buy a jet. When you repeat grammar constructions, you memorize new patterns and you will use them. in conversation, and you don't need to think, what tense should I use or what preposition should I say? You will speak naturally and fluently. I've told you about the problems that prevented students from speaking English fluently. I hope this video was useful. If you can understand English well, but you can't speak, use my tips to improve your speaking skills and become a great English speaker. And if you like this video and you want more videos like this, click that subscribe button and the bell, because every week I make video lessons to empower you, inspire you to learn English and upgrade your level. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.